So, what's your time management like? If you really struggle with time management or processing time, this video is for you. I'm Nikki Butler, also known as the Autistic Joyologist, and I was diagnosed autistic and ADHD in my mid-40s. I've been known in my family and friendship circles as the late one, or if I'm honest with you, the very late one, because my ability to process time has always been such a challenge to me. And it wasn't until my diagnosis that I really started to understand where those challenges were. And I deal with time in a way of now or not now. So it's very difficult for me to think in terms of what 10 minutes might be like or what 30 minutes might be like. I'm now or not now. So that's made it incredibly difficult for me in multiple ways. And maybe this resonates with you too. So often running late, not because I'm deliberately running late, but I might start a task that I genuinely believe is going to take me 10 minutes and an hour later I'm still there. That autistic part of me and the ADHD hyperfocus part of me needs me to stay and complete that task before I can leave the house. So inevitably that would mean that I was late. Didn't matter if I set up reminders because I would just ignore them because I was in that moment. Then I suddenly thought I was becoming some form of time wizard, that I could bend time. So I'd be running an hour late, but I would tell the person that I'd be there in 10 minutes when I would be 30 minutes away. Wasn't trying to be misleading and wasn't trying to be dishonest, but I genuinely believe that I had the ability to get somewhere quicker than was realistic. It really caused some challenges in terms of my family dynamics, friendships, if I was running late for things. And I felt so much shame and guilt for always being the very late one. So now I have some kind of different strategies in place. I never start a new task within 30 minutes of leaving the house because I know that the fact is I'm not very good at judging time. So I just have that as a bit of a safety net of what I need to do. I do have multiple reminders in my phone, and I have to say I've got better at not ignoring all of them. And also on that note, I'm never ever late for really important meetings because those are the times that, because I can't judge time, if I've got a meeting at 2 o'clock, I do nothing all morning and I leave and I'm an hour early, but I'd rather be early because the panic of or the fear of being late is just too overwhelming for me. So I try and have my meetings in the morning so that I'm not sat with this consistent and constant anxiety that I'm going to miss something later on in the day. But I'm very good now at not starting new things within 30 minutes of leaving. I also don't try and manage my workload in terms of time planning or time blocking. And hats off to anybody that can manage things like time blocking, the Pomodoro technique, any of the things that allow or require you to have a list of tasks and how long it's going to take to do them. That is not how my brain works. So I have a whole host of tasks for the month or a week that I know that I want to complete. I pick and choose them depending on my energy and focus levels. So last week I achieved far more than I possibly imagined. I would say I probably achieved a month's worth of work in a week because I was able to do things really, really quickly, quicker than I possibly imagined. But I'll have other times that something will take me much longer to do. And so I try not to put a time label on a task. I just have this little pool of activities or tasks or things that need to be done, and I pick and choose them based on my energy levels and my time commitments. And I wonder if you can start to think about how you process time or how you might manage time differently. And something else that's made a really big impact on me is as a qualified NLP business practitioner, so I certified in that fairly recently, but we talked about time and what our view on time is. And I realised I'd always had this narrative of there's not enough time, I'm in a hurry, I've got so much to do, I haven't got enough time to get things done, if only there were more hours in the day. And that belief wasn't helpful for me. And over the last few weeks, I've started to think about there's plenty of time, there's time to do the tasks that I want, I am not limited and I'm not in a hurry. Now, whether that is true in the truest sense or not doesn't really matter, because just that belief of there is no pressure from time has meant that I have held a different belief other than you are under pressure, there is not enough time. The thinking of time as being more fluid and more accepting has meant that when I've been doing tasks, I have found that I've flowed much better because I don't have this block in my mind about what time is or isn't. I'm not sure if that makes sense to you, but perhaps ask yourself, how do you view time? Do you view time as being limited and pressured and something you don't understand? Or do you view time perhaps as being a flow of energy and a space for you to create whatever it is that you need to create? I'd really love to hear your thoughts on this. This is something that's still quite new to me and I'm playing around with. I'm still late for things sometimes, but it's a work in progress, and that's the thing, right? We're never going to get to the end. We're never going to get to an end point. We're always going to have to adapt and reflect and consider where we are in the moment. So I am learning to lean into time, to stop seeing it as something that's oppressive and restrictive, and to start to view it as something that creates space for me to achieve the things I really want to achieve. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. How do you view time? What do you think about time? Are you the late one or the very late one in your social or your friendship circle? Pop your comments below, or you can reach out to me on social media, or as always email hello@autisticjoyologist.co.uk, and I hope you have a great day.